Hi guys, and welcome back to World of Tanks, and we're going to be looking at something a little bit different today. It's an artillery review, and I don't normally do these because they're very hard to do. To get the well, not so much to get the footage, but it's very boring footage. But here it is. It's the 105 leFH18B2, or the leFH18B2 as it's better known, or just the I think I've heard it called the Lefty as well, but I'm going to call it the leFH or just the leFH from now on. So I'll have a look in the store and see how much it actually is in there for. 3,400 fully loaded with 3 pieces of equipment: gun lane drive, artillery shell rammer and a camo net, garage slot, 3 days of premium and an ASOP, and a spattering of various shells. Loaded is 3,000 gold with the gun lane drive, the shells, the garage slot, 3 days of premium and the ASOP, but you don't get the camo net or the artillery shell rammer. So there you go, hence the reason why I'm doing the review today, because it's in the store at the minute. Bit different to the other French artillery. It's slow, it's got armour, but it's got a fantastic rate of fire, aiming time, and I found it to be very, very accurate. Now, armour wise, well, it's based off a heavy tank. It's based off the B2. The Germans, when they invaded France, they took some of these. They were ordered to turn them into artillery, and I think they were put into service in 1942. So yeah, they were actually tanks that were in service, although I think they were for the Germans and obviously not the French at the time. So shell wise, it's very different, and we'll have a look at those in a minute. Anything else I need to tell you? It's got a good aiming arc. It's very good at shotgunning, I've found as well. And with the armour, it can give tanks a nasty surprise, especially the light tanks when you're your own tier, and they come round trying to take out arty by ramming you or shooting you, and they either kill themselves by ramming you, or they just bounce off altogether. And I think I've got a clip of that actually happening in this. So let's have a look at the gun stats for this. Now, while we have a look at the gun stats, it doesn't have the same trolley APCR as the other French ones with the 230 odd penetration. It's pretty standard. It's got 53 for the HE and 410 damage, sorry, 104 for the heat with 350, and AP, which is very lackluster, at 64 with 350 damage. 6.4 rounds a minute, which I think is faster than the other one. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's 5.4, so yeah, around a minute faster, slightly slower aiming time, and slightly less accurate. If we go back and have a look. Yep, there you see. Now, traverse speed is 22 degrees. Like I say, it's based off a heavy tank, so it's not the fastest. It does take you a little bit longer to get into position in the first place. So if you're used to that on the French artillery, you know, being quite quick, not so much with this. It is more like the other artillery in the game, except for Bert. Although something I have noticed with the tier 5 artillery is that they all tend to be very, very similar. I mean, I might be wrong, but in my view they seem to be very, very similar, and it doesn't seem to matter which artillery you go for at sort of tier 5. The traits for that country, if you see what I mean, don't really come into effect until you go up the levels, and as you go up the tiers it seems to become more and more apparent. Like the French ones become faster firing, more accurate. The American ones become very inaccurate, massive splash damage, massive damage, but it seems to be the further up the artillery that you go. Now, I did go up some of the artillery. I'm not an expert on it, so that's why I'm going to tell you the facts about this tank, and then you can make up your mind to see whether it's worth it or not. Now, something I can tell you is its actual XP and silver bonus, which is 35% silver bonus and 40% XP bonus, because Wargaming have updated the Tankopedia on the console website to have the bonuses in, which is absolutely brilliant, because it really helps when you're trying to pick excuse me, trying to pick a premium tank for your crew training. Now, like I mentioned a couple of times, it is based off a heavy tank, so we will have a quick look at the armour values, and then we'll get into some actual footage, talk about it a little bit more. I've tried to do something different with the footage, because like I say, artillery footage isn't the most exciting unless something goes horribly, horribly wrong. So I've basically put one game on at double speed, and then I've taken clips to show you its sort of strengths and weaknesses. So we'll have one quick look at its armour profile now, and yeah, then we'll get into the footage. So as you can see, 60mm front and sides, 55 on the rear. Now this does only go 28 kilometers an hour. I don't know if I mentioned that already, but yeah, it's not a bad tank at all. And if this seemed a little bit out of sync, I'll make a confession. I did record it all and record the video for it, and went to edit it all together with the footage and realised that I'd turned my microphone off in the settings. So I've had to improvise, unfortunately, and basically just get it all up again and basically just try and remember which order I did it in. So that's why some of it seems a little bit out of sync. But anyway, let's get into that footage, have a look at how this thing plays, and hopefully you can make your mind up yourselves. So here we are. This one is a full game, but I've sped it up. It's tier 5 match, and it's a assault on Swampland. We're on the attacking team, and I know I've sped this up. I know I'm really supposed to be showing you the rate of fire and things like that, but it's not particularly interesting to sit and watch somebody in a top-down view. So this is on double speed, but it's just to show you kind of how effective it is. I mean, I'm not the best artillery player. I have played a few of them. I had the SU-14-1, but I got it through the KV-2. I got up to the, I think it's the M37, is it? No, might be the one after that. It's the one before the M12, I think it is. In the American line, got up to Bert in the British line, got up to the GW Tiger P in the German line, but got very fed up with it. But this is probably my second or my third go in this, but it'll just give you an idea of sort of how effective it can be. It's quite a nice little tank. So we've got a Stug down there. I'm trying to punish just for being a Stug. And I managed to finish him off. Now it does seem to have quite a high firing arc as well, a little bit like Bert in fact, so you can get it over things, and it seems a bit easy to get it to come down on top of the enemy tanks, which is quite good, because obviously that's where the armour is normally the weakest. And you can see I'm looking around the base there for their artillery, going for the tracer fire, for the counter battery fire. And I thought I saw something coming out of there, so I just waited around to see if it did, but no, nothing there. It's moving a little bit quick for me to keep up, to be honest. T-34, but I can't quite get a shot. But I can get a shot at him, but he gets finished off before I get to him. However, the T-34 is making a charge, so if I can get the timing right, I should be able to plant one straight on him. And there we go, clip his back, track him, and the other arty finishes him off. Now, I'd seen quite an opening on, well, on that sort of northwestern flank, which is why I scarper. I am not a scumbag player, I am an arty player, and I will go down fighting every time. I will not kill myself. Never drown myself, never throw myself off a cliff. Not intentionally, anyway. But, no, not a scumbag. However, I did see some scumbaggery earlier. Somebody in an M103 at the end of the match on El Haluf threw themselves off the cliff before we could, well, before our team could kill him. And, yeah, I thought that was quite disgusting. That really does get on my nerves, actually. People drowning themselves and killing themselves toward the end of the match. You can see my fellow arty there defending himself. That tank thought he was going to get an easy arty kill, and he was very sorely mistaken. He just got a high explosive shell in the face for his troubles. Now arty's popped up there, but he's disappeared again. There's a KV-220, they are tough. There's the arty. Oh, and it misses that time. Somebody finishes him off, and there's just the KV-220 left. Can I get a shot from where I am? It looks like I can. No, a little bit of splash, and that's it. That's the game. Now again, that's not really showing you where its rate of fire or anything like that, because it was sped up. But it just shows you the effectiveness. I am not an expert in artillery, and I managed to do okay in this thing. So, you know, anybody who is good in artillery should be able to absolutely stomp all over the enemy team in one of these, I would have said. I might be wrong. If you're a good arty player, let me know in the comments what you think of it. But as you can see, I found it quite effective. Not loads of damage, but then again, a lot of it is splash damage. But anyway, we've got another one coming up here for you, and oh yeah, Lakeville, sorry, and here is where you'll see some of the accuracy and the rate of fire. This is normal speed, so we've got a T-67 and a Hellcat, a couple of soft open-topped tank destroyers, lovely artillery targets, and you can see a blind fired there, but it's so fast a rate of... Well, it's a bit like Bert with his rate of fire, really. You can afford to take those blind, speculative shots, you know, to see if they're still there, because you loaded another shell and re-aimed very, very quickly, and like I say, you can really keep big, heavy tanks tracked, especially for other people in your team, and it really does start to build up if you can get tracking damage in there as well. Now, there's a lot of tracer rounds coming out from here, which is why I'm taking these speculative shots, and like I say, the rate of fire, it's that good that you can afford to take them, and I'm hitting. That one fell short though, but unfortunately, yeah, I become victim of a very noobish mistake, and I get that involved in my little top-down world shooting at tracer rounds that I fail to pay attention to the map on this one. That is a mistake that, yeah, a lot of arty players make, and you can tell when they make it because their arty friends will be dying all around them. I do play some light tanks, I do enjoy them, and yeah, you'll be killing their arty mates and they are completely oblivious and they are still firing up into the sky, and you just know they are lost in their top-down world. And this is what happened to me. There you go. This next bit is this is on Tundra, and I think it's another tier 5 match, and I've put this one on to show you the armour. Just that little cheeky Panzer 1C comes round, tries to take me out, and basically just bounces off, and the damage I take is from the enemy artillery, and I'm making balls up of trying to shotgun the little bugger, but eventually I do manage to get him. There you go, one shot. But yeah, the damage I took there was from enemy arty, I think, and possibly something bigger, but that little tier 3 light tank just bounced off, and it takes them by surprise, and in fact, well, as you could see, he just left me alone and went for the other arty. But the quick aim and reload come in handy in situations like this, with the T-67 sneaking up. We've already had one sneak up, and that medium tank took him out that was with me, and the quick aim, boom, and off I go again. And here we are on Abbey, and I'm doing a little bit of counter battery fire, so I'm watching for tracer rounds. In fact, there I fired to where the artillery usually is, and then I saw a tracer round over here, and I line up to where I think it is. Just wait, just to make sure, because another one's going to come out soon. There we go. They're quite quick firing, tier 5 artillery mostly, so you don't have to wait long. And there we are. Speculative blind shot, clipped him, didn't take him out, but one more. That one fell just to one side, but I'll take another blind shot to see if he's there, because like I say, look at the reload and the aim on it. By the time it's reloaded, it's fully aimed again, and that is just bang on for keeping vehicles tracked and just raining down shell after shell after shell. Now, I have got a few heat rounds and a couple of AP. Now, I will be perfectly honest with you, they have failed me massively, and I'm thinking of just taking them off altogether and just carrying nothing but HE. Although, having said that, I may keep a couple of heat rounds, sorry, for when I have to go TD mode and defend myself against something a bit more heavily armoured. But I've fired a few heat rounds, not loads. I have fired a few in it, and I think out of all of them, a few missed, most of them bounced, and I think one penetrated. And I've left you this bit on because I'm shooting into the middle of the Abbey there, and it just shows you the sort of height of the firing arc that you can shoot up and over and into the middle of the Abbey. It's quite a tricky place to hit with some artillery. Mostly the British tend to have a really good high firing arc. This is later on in the same match, and I'm going to show you the shotgun capabilities of it. I mean, this isn't even close up. Wait for him to aim, slow down slightly, bang. Finish him off. And yeah, these are the last couple now before the review's over, so hopefully you'll have been able to make your mind up to see whether you actually want to shell out 3,000 or 3,400 I think it was on this. But here we are on live oaks, and yeah, the rate of fire and the accuracy again, and I mean this is on a back slope, and anybody who plays arty knows that they're hard to hit on a back slope, and even though it missed, it's knocked his tracks off, and it just kept him tracked there for one of the bigger artillery just to slam one into him. And here's another M6, and you can see he's moving, and just with a little bit of time in, hit him in the side, didn't quite take his tracks off. But do you know what? I've got another shell loaded, put another one into him. You can get a couple of 3 shots into them before they even really know what's happening, and before they can scuttle away and into cover. But anyway, like I say, it's a different French artillery. It's got a bit of armour which does protect you from light tanks and HE shells. But yeah, I'll let you make up your minds. I hope you've enjoyed what you've seen, and if you have, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to help the channel out. As always, take care out there, and I will catch you next time.